Hello there, I'm Mr. Double Digits and I'm the reason God doesn't talk to us anymore. We're almost there. The climax of this cacophony of violence, this onslaught of horrific tragedy, this degenerate trip of sadomasochism is almost at its end. But there's still a few enemies in the way. A few with no allegiance to any company, to any creed, to any book club. These lone warriors, these Ronin, are the last blazing infernos standing in my way on my never-ending trip to the deepest depths of fighting game hell. So this is the cleanup video. This is anyone I've missed and anyone noteworthy who isn't part of a long-running series or owned by one of the companies previously covered. There's not too many of them, and unfortunately there is a couple of donations. This will be a shorter video than usual because of this. So I intended to cover Hino Kakura, but there is no definitive final boss. It's a different character for each player character you go through. It's a sick game though, and cheers to God1 Quote for pointing that one out. I tried Primal Rage 2 again, but unfortunately I got glitched out of the 5th stage, again. That leaves us with 30 bosses to get through. Now that's out of the way, let the chaos begin.
Somebody's dead. Somebody.
Jabroni Squad. Even in the cleanup there's new members of my favourite club. These are the bosses that didn't manage to get a single win over me. Real embarrassing for them because I fucking suck. Infinity from Phantom Breaker Omnia. Dude, this arcade mode is so fucking long. Like, stupid long. And then I fought this twink and stuffed his head right up his fucking ass. Where's my fucking time refund, game? Where is my fucking refund? Miss X from SNK Gal Fighters. Miss X. Weird we'd never seen her again. Probably because I kicked her ass so bad she's afraid to show her face. Ha! Hey, why does she look kind of familiar? Karnov from Fighters History. Oh hey Karnov, you wanted to try again? Fuck out of here, fat boy. This is Karnov's second attempt on this list, and he's somehow managed to do even worse this time. Yeesh. Bobby Strong from Shin Gokasuji Ichizoku Bono Kaiho. It's Power Instinct 4 Special Edition. So this guy is apparently a comedian, which is funny because this fight was a fucking joke. This isn't the first time I've beaten up a Japanese comedian in a fighting game, and I'll be damned if it's the last. Error from Idol Showdown. This game was free. Leave me alone. I don't really understand VTubers, I don't get it, but this chick's last name was Kiryu, so I picked her. Final boss is some kind of glitch in the system. She can steal moves from all the other fighters. Luckily for me, she couldn't steal the win. Shinobu from King of Fighters EX Howling Blood. Was that it? This one was hyped up for me. I thought this pre-team was supposed to be difficult, but I shunted his ass to the Shadow Realm with some basic ass projectile spam. What an embarrassment. Genets would be so disappointed.
Get fucked. Somebody's getting fucked. Somebody's getting fucked.
A couple of wins against me really isn't anything to brag about. It's like beating a legless man in the 100-meter dash. Like, well done for winning, but do you really feel good about it? Osima Gokatuji from Power Instinct 2. You know, sometimes what I need to make me happy is a fighting game that makes me feel like I've dropped half a ton of acid. I got to beat up an old lady this time, and that was fun. I love to get my weekly elderly abuse in there. Bison and Geese Howard from SNK vs Capcom Match in the Millennium. Fucking Christ, what a combo! A Giga Chat comedy hater like Geese and Bison. I can never find this guy all that threatening for some reason. So Geese has his usual predictable counter, and of course, out of fucking nowhere, Raging Storm. Bison has his Psycho Crusher, and he also has a Hadouken. I don't recall him having this previously, so it's a move exclusive to this game? Greed from the Rumblefish. This guy was definitely greedy for one thing, my fist. So, he's hyper aggressive, all the wrath spent in the first round tearing me to pieces. I watched his combos in envy as he ripped right through my health. His lust for my defeat made me almost envious of that level of knowing how to play this fucking game. Luckily that I figured out that his aggression could play against him, and every time he charged in, I threw an uppercut to try and satisfy his gluttony. His counters became rather slow, and I stood tall in the end, with all my pride. Orochi Iori from SNK vs Capcom Match in the Millennium. I love it when one of my boys is the final boss. I just hate that they're never that difficult. I figured I could beat him by just firing off a Hadouken and then hitting him with a Tatsu as he comes over. I love these Neo Geo Pocket Color games, but they're just not very difficult.
Somebody's getting fucked. Somebody's getting fucked. Somebody.
Easy tier. See, we're speeding through this real quick, no real challenges presenting themselves. Onto easy tier, where I dip my toes into the forbidden hot tub of pain. Bristol D from Groove On Fight. So this was weird. The British have arrived, so I did what every other nation on the planet wants to do and beat the fuck out of them on the spot. But then my partner tries to fight me for some reason. I don't know, I don't speak Japanese. And then Count Dracula rips his way out of the dead British guy and he fucking seduces my partner, who was me. So I'm very confused and kind of turned on, so I just decided to beat the shit out of anyone I see. Dracula fucked off back to Transylvania and I went for another round of LSD. What the fuck was all that shit? This was Power Instinct 3, by the way. Hazama from the Rumblefish. This fight is just like my sex life. Sure, yet intense. At least on my side. Truth be told, I actually had to go back and fight this bastard during editing. I didn't even know he existed. Hazama is a strange kind of rushdown. He has the usual quick dashes and the lack of self-worth that leads to him constantly charging at me. He's a little worse than Greed as he can teleport, meaning he's got a few mix-ups in his pocket. Weirdly, I think he has an extra stance or two because he kept stopping with his back to me and it looked like he was going to do something, but he didn't and I just hit him instead. Nonetheless, I dealt with him the same way I deal with all uber-aggressive bosses. I hit him. Osima Gokatuji from Power Instinct. Huh, OG Grandma is tougher than her later incarnation, but unfortunately she has fallen and she won't get up. Granny has a DP with stupid height and this weird multi-hit projectile thing. It kinda reminds me of one of Necroark Supers. Jackie Chan from Jackie Chan's Fists of Fire. Was I ever gonna turn down a chance to have Jackie Chan on this list? This game is fucking weird. I have moves that are just downright useless. It took me an entire arcade run to start using this projectile effectively. I found my greatest tools to be the booty bounce, and what I've dubbed the Scotsman. Chucking a container of alcohol across a room in an attempt to commit GBH on a random passerby. True Scottish. Bosh Jackie is, well, the same as me, he's jank as fuck. This boils down to a mirror match, but oh shit, it's Jackie Chan, man. Evil Ryu from SNK vs Capcom Match in the Millennium. The world's most boring man returns to inform us of his love of stale bread. But wait, no. This is his edgier form. This man enjoys burnt toast as his favourite bakery snack. By God. This is the average Evil Ryu, more powerful attacks and a certain degree of viciousness. My advice is to get him at a distance so he'll start spamming Hadoukens. And he won't stop until you kick him right in his fucking face. Ah, shit. I don't like it when I'm only just halfway through the list and there's still a bunch of cunts to go. Oh no. Oh no. Genitz from King of Fighters 96. So the first time round, I cheesed my way through this one. I thought it was fitting to give the good priest another go, because I honestly thought it wasn't fair. I screwed him out of a higher place on the list, and with Genitz's rep, I thought he deserved it. But then he put on this performance. Like, it's not terrible, but I was honestly expecting him to make it up to Beast. Terry's not projectiles proved to be the great decider here. They can go right through those fucking tornadoes and catch Genitz right in the holy vegetables. Lord Wizard from the Killing Blade. Well, that's a stupid name. The Wiz tries to be a cheap SNK boss, but barely gets about halfway there. He's got some stupid OP things, his air fireballs, his weird fire breath thing, and he can go invisible, and that fucking spin kick. But you can also just projectile spam him and prevent him from moving. And if he manages to make his way over to you with the spin kick, which he will, just block it and punish. It's a fairly easy strategy, but there is one big thing that makes me hate this boss. His attacks are like old people fucking. They take forever. Everything is a goddamn 10-hit combo, so it feels like I have time to go and make myself a 4-course meal in the time it takes before he's finally finished with his attack. True Lotus Master from Martial Masters. Steroids have existed since the Qing fucking dynasty. This roidy Magoo motherfucker with the admitted very nice headwear is the True Lotus Master, the more alpha version of regular Lotus Master. And he's got that roid rage going because fuck does he just charge you down and start trying to Chris Benoit your ass. Check out this insane super where he'll levitate in the air and just start spitting flowers down at you. Never have I ever hated getting flowers so much. Not that I often get flowers. Ever. His other attacks mainly consist of an onslaught of regular combos. Luckily, as I found with a lot of aggressive bosses, he's wide open to a quick sweep or a burn knuckle equivalent. The masterful Master Huang has both of these. Twin Tartars from the Killing Blade. This was an AI has decided it wants to win kind of fight. Easy enough until the enemy decides to go ham every so often and mutilate your life bar, all to get those precious fucking quarters. Other than that, relatively easy. Wait till his tornado drags you in. That's when you launch your attack. You just keep blocking and then just steal a couple of hits. I use projectiles and anti-airs to keep him at a distance while waiting for the two of them to make a mistake. Pretty mid-boss for a pretty mid-game. You from Taekwondo. I'm enjoying this Taekwondo game. It makes a nice break from all the insanity of regular fighting games. It's just a nice normal tournament. I've been slowly making my way through the brackets. I've only knocked out one opponent. The rest I've beaten in points. It's a respectful martial art, each opponent showing admiration and sportsmanship with every fight. Look at them bow. And now here I am, the World Finals. And holy shit, what the fuck, security, security! Holy fuck, what a start to a fight. You can't dodge that first combo either. You is, to put it bluntly, a fucking dick. I can't read Japanese, so I have no idea what his major malfunction is, but it's definitely not his footwork. This is a desperate fight. You're constantly on the back foot, and the only way to win is blood for the blood god. Luckily, I've watched that one Joe Rogan kick video a bunch, so I won. Princess Sissy from Matra Melee. What the fuck was that? In every single one of these lists, there's always some motherfucker that comes out of nowhere and is randomly really fucking tough. This time it's Princess Sissy. Alright, so hear me out. Notice this move here where this big Chungus guy appears and backhands me. This move erases the hitbox on her legs, so you can't hit through it, meaning the easy sweep is out of the game. This single move is what makes Sissy such a bitch to deal with, because it's also really hard to jump over. You can also throw out these frogs that will guard break you, which is immediately followed up by previously mentioned Chungus. And to top it all off, the timer is now a fucking stand power for her. Why? Because she can time you out so easily, to the point that I won this by getting 2 consecutive timeouts. And it wasn't intentional. This cunt this little cunt narrowly escaped Papa Double Digits' belt. Ogar from Voltage Fire. I've decided that me eating soup while playing accounts for some of these losses. Anyway, this weirdly BDSM dressed gentleman's main bread and butter, I also had that with the soup, is fire attacks and teleports. His projectiles have huge gaps under them, and mine are a little quicker, so that was an easy way to chip down some health. His teleport is fucking weird. He teleports twice in a row before flaming on as a little finale, and he has a mega punch that blasts him across the screen. He's got a lot of wind up before his attacks, so they're fairly easy to see coming. The only struggle comes from how much fucking damage he does. One hit and he immediately takes a life lead. If it wasn't such good soup, I would have been more pissed. Nightmare Geese from King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited match. God damn it, just like real life, I find myself in a constant attack by waterfowls. Geese motherfucking Howard is back, this time hidden away in challenge mode. Thanks to this Reddit user for letting me know about this. This is Geese going full ham. He's got a certain combo he likes to throw out that just smashes you against the fucking ground. It's like the AI is having a race with itself, trying to set a new personal record of your destruction. As the current occupant of the top spot on the list, I expect nothing less. Karate Kenji from Fight Fever. breaking news, this karate expert thought he was hot shit on fine china, but he was really cold diarrhea on a paper plate. Karate Kenji is his name, and spamming the same 2 special attacks over and over again is his game. Luckily, this is one of the ones that becomes predictable, and it becomes the task of slowly breaking down his attacks and locating those moments where you can slip in and punish. This is made a little more difficult because this game is some good old janky shit. Shin Knight from Fighting Layer. We got him, boys. We finally got him. As it turned out, he can only be fought if you have the first version of Fighting Layer. I had version FTL 3. You need version FTL 0. Cheers to Gal Wingquote for that one. This fight begins with a fucking QTE, which I passed with flying colours. And then you get this little secret hidden away in a rapidly blowing up castle. The big man himself does frankly stupid damage. Each swipe is like a punch from Chuck Norris right to the throat. The way to beat him is the same as the regular knight. You gotta time your hits to interrupt his attacks. After that you can run over and throw him. Easier said than done, because now the timing is way fucking tighter. Eventually, I pulled that shit off and had the most delightful of wanks. Holy God Earth, Spectral versus Generation. Another day, another god to beat up. I shouldn't be used to this. This god is a right motherfucker though. The first round, he's nice and chill. I kept winning it by just poking him. The second round, he comes unglued and starts pulling out all kinds of heinous shit. This red lance attack is unblockable, tanks a good amount of health. This goddamn super with the fucking lightning, tanks a good amount of health. This special beam cannon shit you can't block if you duck for some reason, tanks a shitload of health. This man zips and zags across the screen, but for some reason, on occasion, he'll just keep walking into you. That's where you can stab and stab until your heart's content. Here we fucking go. This is what I'm talking about. This is where the war truly begins, and from here, it ain't fucking ending. Unlimited 9 from BlazBlue Central Fiction. I kinda hate these unlimited character fights. It's just a mess of random shit happening until you die or figure out some way to steal a win. Which is exactly what I did. I love Noelle's drive move, it's the reason I use her for these BlazBlue fights. I just keep spamming it until I win. I'm not a proud man. With 9, distance is her game, and holy fuck does she excel. There's so much crap going on the screen, I don't even know where to start. She's got these golden fists that can hit you 3 times while you're on the floor, the mandatory mega beam, the knives that hit you from all sides. It's suffocating as her onslaught continues. There's this weird grass she summons. She's got an Eiger's reflector that electrocutes you. She can teleport over and hit a goddamn distortion finish. I ended up doing this fight when I was drunk, so I guess Drunken Master wins again? This chick also fucked the cat, by the way. Unlimited Izanami, BlazBlue Central Fiction. I now know what this purple ribcage thing is. I understand what it is, and I know to fear it. Like a weird pain in your nuts or the beginnings of male pattern baldness. Like 9, she's unrelenting with the amount of bollocks that's constantly being thrown at you from all areas of the stage. She has a command grab, she can pause time, but the worst thing by far is that fucking ribcage. It's armor that can only be taken out by drive moves. You know how hard it is to hit that bitch, let alone hit a drive move on her? It's fucking hard. I think I got really lucky here because a couple of randomly thrown drive moves managed to make it through amongst all the chaos of everything going on screen. When she's open, I just spammed the most basic of Ragnar Rushdown shit and followed it up with a Hail Mary distortion finish. Carlos from the Fallen Angels. Man, fuck Carlos. Look at this asshole. On his windscreen, he's pulling a blue steel. Blue steel. Upon entering this fight, I was infuriated. This guy was not only better dressed than me, but also had a slightly better haircut. This man has naturally chosen to use a katana like a true Latino, and is fucking lethal with it. His super, Sayonara, can obliterate a good 70% of your health in one swift strike. This guy is all about sweeping strikes. The mid-zone is his bed and breakfast. Unfortunately, I ended up picking this character. His name is Cool. That's why I picked him. And I later realized he's a charge character. so I defaulted to the least respectful tactic. Jump kick, low kick, and then he kicked my ass anyway. So without my precious projectile spam, I was forced to, I found a new stupid way to do it. It works sometimes. I mean, a group of monkeys can eventually write the entire works of Shakespeare, so my horse shit strategies will eventually work. Beatrice from the Rumblefish 2. Holy fucking hell, what'd I do, woman? What did I do? I must have upset this chick because she was fucking furious. She just kept chucking this green shit and gobbling up like quarter of my health. You know who this reminded me of? That chick from the Akatsuki Blitzkampf sequel. One of the only fights where I had a dead set strategy that I stuck to. Except in this one, the strategy wasn't working and she was eating me alive. This chick is the queen of long range. She can keep you at bay with this ridiculous green projectile. It goes across and up, so it's a total bastard to try and jump over it. What makes it worse? If you make your way over there, she can damn near TOD you with a single combo. And she usually hits that shit as a punish. But the only way I can damage her is by hitting her and... Oh god. Oh god, look lady, please be nicer to me next time, okay? Beast tier. A single entry in Beast tier. But it's a big one. This is one name that has loomed above me through every entry in this series of videos. A shadowy entity beckoning me to face him and understand. Understand how this man, living in such obscurity, can create such fear in the masses. The General from Kaiser Knuckle. Holy fucking shit. He lives up to the rep. He lives up to the rep. The General. My god, the General. I don't know what country he's General of, but they're fucking sorted, mate. They've got nothing to worry about. This king of the YMCA is an absolute cunt. And that is a respectful cunt. Just look at some of the gameplay on screen. He takes no prisoners of war. None. He executes them on the spot with his bare hands. His green thing, it fires 5 different versions of himself across the screen, each in a different direction, leaving you with the tiniest of gaps to try and jump through. Sometimes he will just jank grab you. That's all I can describe it as. You can be miles away from him and suddenly he's got you by the throat. The damage scaling is actually okay, but with how much he can fire off at once, it'll make a fucking difference if it's fair. He likes to shoot one of his projectiles and follow it up with a sliding attack. On a side note, I have been begging my girlfriend to do this move to me for months. Actually winning this fight was like scaling a mountain in ice skates. You'll have noticed that I ended up switching character. I rarely do this, but this situation was where I had to. Years back, a player discovered an exploit using the character Wu Long. His DP confuses the General for a split second, letting you sweep him as you land. The thing is, the positioning is so fucking exact that I barely managed to pull it off once, let alone a bunch of times in a row. But I kept managing to catch him with other attacks, other DPs. It was desperate. Desperate is the definition of this fight. Because Jesus, it felt like going one-on-one with the new greatest boxer of all time, Jake Paul. I'm gonna go and eat some soap to clear that one out. Fuck. Either way, I slowly got him down and it was one hit each. One hit would kill me, one hit would kill him. And he jumped. I got him. Not gonna lie, I don't pop off often, but I fucking popped off. Holy crap. What a beast. Our new number 1. There we go, guys. New number 1 for our list. Say I've been off work for a little bit, had my fucking surgery. That was fun. Now got a piece of plastic lodged within myself. That was fun. The next video in the series is going to be the final one, where I say I've kept track of everything so far, all 320 plus bosses. We have a top 30 now, a definitive top 30. So I'm going to go back through those guys, fight them all again, and we're going to figure out who the real number 1 is. Make sure there's no lucky wins or lucky losses, or if someone's got a 100% strategy to beat him, it's going to be easy now that I know the strategy to beat them. I can go back through my old videos and shit and figure it out. And those without strategies, we're going to see how tough they really fucking are, aren't they? But the thing is, I've improved since I started doing these videos, so some of the ones from the SNK list I don't think are going to be quite as much of a challenge as they were first time round. Still going to kick my fucking ass, though. Other than that, here is the usual leaderboard and the count up of my total amount of losses. Holy fuck. The next video might take a little while to do. I'm going to try and do a couple of little extra bits for it. I'm going to try and do something a couple bits different, make it a little more of an occasion, seeing as this is the grand finale. And Kaiser, why don't you go and fight the general? Bro, give it a go, man. You'll have some good fun. You lose some of your hair, but you'll have some good fun. So, ladies, well, I've now looked at my channel analytics. So, gentlemen, I will catch you next time when we reach the end of this fucking trip through hell.